Okay, welcome to video number 13 of the Diaries of a Coronavirologist YouTube channel. Today is the 13th of April, and we've crossed another major milestone, being at over 2 million cases worldwide of COVID-19 and just under 120,000 deaths. So it was on the 2nd of April that we crossed a million confirmed cases when I posted video number 10. So cases are still going up very rapidly. However, there are some signs of growing good news. Various countries seem to be hitting plateaus, and cities in countries around the world. South Korea and Hong Kong and Singapore and places like that did a very good job early on of hitting plateaus in the number of new cases. But even somewhere like New York, that has been very hard hit, seems to be getting towards plateauing the number of cases. So this is good, as it suggests we're starting to bring this under control and that social distancing measures are starting to work. But this does bring me into the thing I want to talk about in my next two videos, which is the concept of a second wave of infection. So this is something that we saw very clearly with Spanish influenza in 1918, so there is historical precedent for this that I can use. Although a lot of what I'll talk about with respect to SARS2 is somewhat speculative because we just don't know what's going to occur. But as part of talking about the second wave, I want to first build upon something I brought up right at the end of my last video when I was talking about infection of pets, and talk about this idea of spillback and then potential for spillover, which could play a role in a second wave. I'll talk more about the second wave in a video I'll post tomorrow. It's possible I'll record it tonight and add some edits in to that video, so I might end up changing shirts halfway through. But I want to tackle these across two different videos just so each video has just one idea that I focus on. So just as a reminder from where I ended up the last video, I was looking at a paper that demonstrated it's possible for SARS2 to infect and replicate in cats and possibly even transmit between them. The study also found that ferrets could be infected with this virus, but that pigs, ducks, and dogs could not be infected. So this suggests that the virus can go potentially from humans into animals. Now again, there is the caveat that the published research was done in a lab setting, somewhat artificially, but there was also some other studies I talked about for serological evidence, so looking for antibodies in animals, that suggested that pets in households with humans may have been infected with the virus. So this is something that I'm referring to as spillback, having heard it referred to that way, and something I was listening to a few days ago or a week ago or so. When viruses come into the human population from an animal host, such as seems to have happened for SARS2 coming from a bat, this is called a spillover. So a spillback is when the virus goes back from a human into animals. And what the evidence and the data are starting to suggest is that various different animals might be infectable with this virus. So this potentially could lead to the establishment of reservoir species for SARS2. Now this is really important for us to know, because if the virus can go off and infect various different animals and set up reservoirs, there's always a chance that it could then spill back into the human population. So we may see a decline in cases, but then if a human or multiple humans come into contact with this reservoir species, that could ignite a whole new outbreak and we get going once again. So it's really important to be doing this research to look to see which animals can and cannot be infected, so we know what kind of animals to be looking at in the wild for potential reservoirs. Now, as an example for why it's important to know these reservoirs, I can talk about another coronavirus, which is MERS. I've brought it up in previous videos, but to remind or to bring up for the first time if people haven't watched all the other ones, MERS is a coronavirus that can infect humans, and it comes from camels. So its reservoir is camels, and humans get infected by coming into close contact with camels. Fortunately, MERS doesn't spread very well between humans, so there's only been about 2,500 cases since 2012, and not much spread from human to human. But the spillover events from the reservoir of camels keep sporadically occurring. Now, why it's useful to know this, that the virus comes from camels, is that we can start to limit the contact with camels. And there's even been vaccines designed to be given to camels to try and protect them from developing or being infected with MERS coronavirus, and therefore limit the spread to the human population. So if indeed SARS2 is able to go and infect animals and potentially set up reservoirs by spreading within those different species, it looked like it could transmit between cats, so it suggests it could spread in that population, for example. We need to be aware of this to try and limit the chance for future spillover events. The other reason it's very important to know about what animals are being infected or can be infected is that different animals have slightly different immune systems and slightly different physiology to us. So this puts different evolutionary pressure on the virus, which could lead to it mutating and evolving to deal with that animal, such that if it then comes back into contact with a human and can still infect a human, it's a slightly different beast, and we may therefore have problems with vaccination or our immune responses all over again. All these kind of things that we're dealing with now could happen, even if it's a slightly evolved SARS2. Now, I stress this is quite speculative. I'm talking somewhat generally and speculatively about things because we don't have the evidence that this could happen for SARS2. But the idea that different species put different evolutionary pressures on different viruses is a pretty well established or well understood thing. So I'm just trying to build on other ideas and talk about why it's important that we consider spillback. So as I've alluded to, understanding potential for spillback and subsequent future spillover is important, as it could play a role in development of second waves of infection. And that's what I want to talk about more in a video I'll put up tomorrow. I just want to break it down so that it's kind of one idea per video. So I'll stop at this stage and say thank you for watching. As always, please keep subscribing and sharing and liking the videos if you're enjoying them. Please keep commenting. I really will try and get to all the comments and questions and things like that and take on the feedback that people are giving me. I do appreciate it. And as always, please stay safe and wash your hands and keep calm and carry on. We will get through this pandemic.